What did you think of the first episode? By the way, people were talking about Prehistoric Planet on Apple Plus.
Yes, check it out. It's actually pretty good. I wasn't sure what to think of it, and then I saw that what is his name from all the MC movies? John Favreau. What's his name? The
Oh,
producer
the
that works.
host,
No, the producer that works on all the Star Wars on all the Marvel
John
films.
Favreau.
John Favreau. He's the producer of this.
Oh, is he?
Yes, he is. And when I
You know
found out that
that's the Iron Man's chauffeur, head of security. What's his name?
happy,
Happy. Yeah,
happy,
that's
yeah.
who that is.
So when I found out that he was the producer of this show, I was like, I gotta watch this. So it's good. I like it. Actually, the first episode was pretty cool. I wasn't really sure what to think of it. At first, my son started watching it, and I was just kind of like looking at it like vaguely, you know. And then I was like, wow, this looks good. Like the special effects are amazing. I almost thought I was looking at real dinosaurs for a second because it just looks so good. And then I just stopped what I was doing, and I literally caught myself sitting there for like 2 or 3 episodes just watching it.
That is how I felt the first time I saw the original Jurassic Park.
Really?
I was like, oh my god, they look so real.
Exactly.
And then by the fourth or fifth time I watched it, because I got it on VHS,
Uh-huh.
I started looking. I was like, wait, that's not accurate. Wait, that's not accurate. Wait, that's not accurate. You know, so I still love the movies. I saw the latest one, Jurassic. Whatever was the last one that came out?
Jurassic. Gee, what?
Jurassic World, whatever.
Help us. Jurassic Park. Oh no, Jurassic World Dominion.
Yeah, I saw that
So
one.
it's-
There's a couple dinosaurs I got really excited about how accurate it was, and then a couple of them that I thought were total bullshit. Like one thing I hate about Jurassic Park, okay, is they're like, "Don't move, he can't see you." That's bullshit. T-Rex had the largest eyes and eye socket in the whole history of the planet. That thing could see a fly on a tick. The thing could see a fucking tick on a donkey's ass from like 2 miles away.
So do you think that the T-Rex couldn't see because of where his eyeballs were placed, like his peripheral
No,
vision? They
no.
were like on the side of his head, and they were like right in front
The
of him.
Okay, we have what's called binocular vision. In other words, we use two eyes to see slightly different. That gives us depth of field, right? So we can see how close or how far something is.
Yeah.
A T-Rex, and we only have so much for peripheral vision. A T-Rex had better peripheral vision, better binocular vision, and could see farther. So it had the best eyes of any animal that has walked on this planet throughout the history of this planet.
Okay.
The reason why they say that is because they say that they cloned the T-Rex from a frog's DNA, and frogs see movement better than still life, but frogs can still see even if you don't move.
Huh.
That's the
So
reason why. But you have to read the novel to understand that.
I think they were just trying to add something from movie perspective. You know what I mean? I mean, granted, that was kind of a big detail that should not have just been made up. But
No, it's from the novel.
oh really?
Yeah, it's from the novel.
Oh well, so much for that.
My favorite dinosaur in all of Jurassic World, Domination, whatever it is, the last one,
Yeah.
was the fully feathered raptor that jumped in the water.
See, I
Fully
haven't
feathered.
seen it. I haven't
You
seen
haven't
it
seen it?
yet. I haven't seen it yet. But the TV show that we were just talking about, like the Dinosaur Planet, whatever, on Apple Plus, I think they showed that kind of raptor. The raptor had like feathers and stuff like that. So when they showed, like when I was watching the show and it said, "Oh, and this is a velociraptor," you know, he's adjusting to his environment. I was like, "Wait, that's a velociraptor? Why does he have feathers?" Like I'm used to
No,
the.
that was a Utah raptor. No, they actually did show a velociraptor. You know, velociraptor's only about the size of a turkey, right?
So why are they? I'm guessing they're doing it from movie perspective, but why are they so huge in the movies?
Because what they're one, it's I mean, what are you more scared of? Fucking two killer turkeys chasing after you, or two huge raptors like you saw?
I don't know. I mean, turkeys could be kind of dangerous. No,
What
I'm
they're
joking.
actually being chased by is called Utah raptor, and Utah raptor was that actual size, but Utah raptor was fully feathered.
Wow, interesting. So it's more accurate from that dinosaur show on Apple TV Plus than
Yes,
Jurassic
it
Park.
is accurate as up to 6 months of the original airing. 6 months,
Wow.
the information 6 months previous to.
Check that out, guys. What is that show called again that we were talking about? I know we're just kind of rambling on about
Prehistoric
dinosaurs.
Planet. We always
Prehistoric
ramble the
Planet.
first part till people get here.
Yeah, of course. But you know what? That makes the show special. Prehistoric Planet, Apple TV Plus. Make sure you guys check it out. Side note, I'm gonna ramble again because I just feel like rambling. Um, Flies. Why are flies so ridiculously just like immortal? I was trying to kill a fly earlier, and this thing was freaking huge, one of the big fat joints.
A
And
horsefly.
horsefly. I finally got it. I'm like, yes. I was like trying to kill it for like an hour. Finally got it. I was like, yes, it's done. It's down. I'm gonna get you in a second. I gotta do something first. I'm gonna go get my broom. So I came back with my broom. Like, yeah, you're still laying there, aren't you? And then like it started moving a little bit, and it flew away. That thing laid there for like 20 minutes. I was like, what in the world?
Do you know why flies can escape quickly?
How is that? Why?
Because they have hairs that feel air pressure. So when you move your hand, you're creating air pressure. And so it feels the air pressure and it can move. That's the reason why.
So when I knocked it down, it was basically just laying there taking a breather
Essentially.
as well. Okay. I mean, I thought I hit that thing pretty hard. I literally thought he was dead. For
To
sure.
kill a fly, you have to make sure its guts are everywhere.
Guts are everywhere. Jeez Louise. But yeah, I thought that was just freaking hilarious. I freaking knocked him out and he just got back up, started flying around like it was nothing. Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, that is JHouze Radio episode 65. That is the end of the episode. We will catch you guys next time.
Today we talked about dinosaurs and flies.
Dinosaurs and flies. That's what we're talking about. So yeah, I am your host, KJ. My co-host here, Los. We're here. We're back. Today's episode, for anybody who's watching us live, I am wearing a Star Trek t-shirt. You are not seeing things. This is an actual Star Trek t-shirt that I am wearing. This was Los's idea. He wanted to do a full episode about Star Trek. We're making his wish come true. That's what we're doing. So, before we jump into Star Trek, though, side note, we're going to be talking about Star Trek Strange New Worlds, FYI. Specifically. Before we jump into that, Los, how you doing? How's
Doing
life?
good, and you?
I'm good, man. It's hot on the East Coast. It feels like it's 1,000 degrees.
It's like 89 degrees or something.
Yeah, probably
82 degrees.
82. It's like 82 degrees, but it feels like it's still like 95.
Because it is so muggy. It is sticky.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
You got things sticking to your legs, it's just not a good thing.
Exactly. Los, let's just jump into it, man. What are your PWLs, if you have any? What are you playing, watching, listening to lately?
Okay, playing. I decided to dust off my 360.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm playing Diablo 3.
Wow. You like Diablo? I would have never thought.
I liked World of Warcraft, and Diablo 3 kind of reminds me of World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been playing it, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it more than I enjoyed World of Warcraft from back in the day. I would never play the game again. Mm-hmm. It just, I don't have that kind of time to invest anymore. Like I used to play an hour to an hour and a half a day, and that was it.
Yeah.
So like when people ask me to join a raid, I'm like, listen, I'll be between these hours and these hours. If we start the raid at this hour, I'll stay to the end. But if you're going to ask me to join towards the end of my time playing, I won't do it.
Dude, I would have never thought that you were a World of Warcraft player. Like I played a lot of World of Warcraft like back when it came out. Like I had no life that game.
I actually started playing MMORPGs with a game called Shadowbane.
Shadowbane, don't know that one.
Yeah,
Don't
it was
know
one
that
of the
one.
first ones that came out. It looked a lot more like Diablo, but it was still
Mm-hmm.
an MMORPG, and I don't even know what year that was released.
Uh-huh.
And I played it because a coworker of mine was playing, and he was like, "Yo, just jump on with me and play the game." So I said, "All right, fuck it, I'll play it." So I played the game. I enjoyed it. The service shut down, and then I was bored one day. People were talking about WoW, so I said, "All right." I hopped on. I played it. I liked it, and I
Wow.
played it till
Pun
I got up to
intended.
level 50 something, 55, 53, and then
Mm-hmm.
I was done.
Jeez.
Just
I'm,
life got
I'm
in the way.
I feel like I'm learning more about you, even though I've known you for like over like 10 years. I never knew that you were into like, you know, Diablo and WoW. That's insane. That's insane. Would you, so you said you would never jump back into WoW. Why? Why is that?
I just don't have the time. That's a
Yeah.
game that you need to dedicate at least 8 to 10 hours per week, and I don't have 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah. I think that's one of the reasons why I don't play it anymore either, because yeah, it is one of those games that like if you want to keep up with it, you kind of have to almost no life it or at least have multiple hours within a week to try to keep up with it. If not, you're just going to be left behind, especially if you're playing with friends, for
Listen,
sure.
I played Animal Crossing throughout the throughout lockdown,
Hmm.
and I jump on it every once in a while, but it's like 2 or 3 months between the times I play Animal Crossing and I don't.
Yeah.
And I
I still
like the game because it's a good time killer, but
I still got to get a Switch, man. I still don't have a Switch yet. I still got to get one.
you
Me and
need to
my
get one.
me and my girl are talking about getting one because we want to play like Mario Party and like a bunch of other like random games stuff like that. So, got to get one.
Listen, you should
Um,
get the OLED one. Don't get the older one. Get the newer one, the OLED.
that's what I want. I want like I'm in this whole craze of like OLED now, where like I want an OLED TV and things like that. So if I do get this Switch, I'm definitely gonna get the OLED. I think it's what like 350 or something like that.
Yeah, my girl has the original and the OLED one. She
Hmm.
hasn't touched her original one because the OLED one is so much nicer.
Yeah, I played it at GameStop and it's freaking beautiful. It's beautiful. The screen like it has less bezels, and like
Yes,
the colors and everything just pop way more on the OLED for sure. So
and so much brighter.
yes, for sure. Because yeah, like the other one is a little darker, and like the material of the original console just doesn't feel good in your hand. It feels very like bendy and things like that. You
Yeah.
know. So yeah. Anything else in your PWL this week?
I'm watching the Orville. Um, it is Seth MacFarlane, the guy who created Family Guy.
Hmm.
He he created his own version of Star Trek, and it is so good. The first season had a lot of comedy in it because he was trying to bring in his old fans.
Yeah.
And the more the episodes went, the less comedy it had. And the only time it added comedy to the show is to just give it a moment of levity in the seriousness of the stories he's doing.
Yeah.
Um, and let me tell you something. Yo, it is good. I really do hope green lights a season 4,
Yeah.
because the first 2 seasons were on Fox. This current season 3, is on Hulu, and I need Hulu to renew that. I've literally tweeted at Hulu once a week, when do we get announcement for season 4?
Really?
Yeah, it's that good.
Wow.
It is that good. And the best part about it is because it's on Hulu and it's not bound by old television rules, episodes can be as long as an hour and a half.
That's
Most
yeah.
episodes are an hour and 10 minutes.
That's kind of what I was running into with Stranger Things. The last episode of Stranger Things in season 4 is 2.5 hours long. It's practically like watching long movies like within like one show.
It's like
It's
watching the
insane.
Justice League Snyder cut.
Yeah, the one I fell asleep during. Um, I'm just gonna go
Yo,
ahead and say it. I know you were gonna say that.
I'm actually going to rewatch it this weekend.
I'm actually thinking about rewatching it again. I haven't. I think I might have. I don't even know if I watched it since we watched it. I don't think I did.
I haven't, but I'm going to rewatch it.
Next time I come over, we gotta watch it again. I'll stay awake. I'll try to.
I'm going to give you an energy drink when we start.
Yeah. Here's a monster. All right, stay awake, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, my
And now
PW.
for listening,
Oh
well,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Go
what are
ahead.
you watching? What are you watching other than Stranger Things?
Honestly, that's pretty much what I am watching. Is just Stranger Things. Honestly, because season 4, part 2 dropped. What like last week. It was just 2 episodes. The last episode was 2.5 hours long. The first one was like maybe almost 2 hours long. This once again, everybody hears me talk about Stranger Things all the time. It's an awesome show. Season 4, part 2 was just freaking climactic. It was crazy. It was insane. If you're a fan of Stranger Things, you need to catch up onto it. And we're obviously leading into a season 5 with the way the show ended. Rumors are that we're gonna get an explanation as to how the Upside Down was created, basically. Season 4 was pretty much about dating back to the beginning of the camp or the science project that 11 was part of, and it dives deeper into that. And season 5 is supposed to just dive deeper into figuring out where the Upside Down came from and why it's here. So
Okay.
good show, amazing. Check it out. That's pretty much what I've been watching, along with Strange New Worlds, obviously. And as far as watching, I mean, as far as playing and listening to, honestly, I have not been able to play anything lately. Life has just been getting in the way. That's just how it is.
I hear you.
All right,
listening for me is I just subscribed to the Beat Link, which is Beatport is a website where DJs can buy music.
Okay.
It is more EDM and house oriented than it is mainstream. But they have this online service where you can stream all your music and DJ with it.
Really?
So I just subscribed to it because, by the way, I released a mix that I did at my office party. I got to send you the link. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just start just posting mixes again, because I keep saying I'm going to do it and I never do it, but now I'm going to do it. So now I'm going to force my girlfriend and tell her, listen, these 2 days a week, this is what I'm doing, and you're going to have to live with it. And not in a bad way. It's just that, us as men, we tend to lose ourselves in the relationship supporting our partners. And I need to not lose myself, because that puts me in a state of depression. That puts me in a bad place emotionally. So I need to just be expressive. And that's one of the things I'm going to do.
I feel you. I mean, yeah, especially if you're somebody who is creative and like deals with music or film or something like that. I mean, I think not even just a creative person, but anybody. I think everybody needs that release, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman. Everybody needs like that hobby or like that one thing that you can do that's like your thing, whether it's once a week or a few times a month, to just release, to be creative or whatever that is. So yeah, I mean, I definitely 100% agree with you. Everybody needs their thing, you know. So, but that's cool. Yeah, man. Anytime that you do a show, man, let me know. I used to always love your music drops. Anytime you did like your little like sessions and things like that, let me know for sure.
I'm gonna actually text you the link in 1 second, and you could post it on Discord if you want.
Cool beans. And that'll be a good segue for anybody who wants to join our Discord. It's going to be in the show notes below if you're watching live on YouTube or listening to the audio version of this. Check out the Discord. Come hang out with us. We pretty much post updates on when we're going live, updates on new episodes, extra content, etc., etc. You can chat with us here and there. So yeah, check out our Discord for sure.
I need to be more active on Discord.
Hey, you me both, bro. You me both. Like, I mean, I'll post things when we like go live or post new videos, but I haven't been that active with it. I really haven't, and that's my fault. I'm sorry, guys. I still love you.
You know what? Unfortunately, it's just life gets in the way, man.
It really does. It really does.
Because the thing is, fortunately or unfortunately, I just sent it to you, the link.
Awesome.
It's one of those things where, again, we have a partner, and we need to dedicate our times to our partner, and we sacrifice the things we want to do for them. And I'm not saying this in a bad way, because we choose to do it. It's just that, it gets in the way of the stuff that we would do if we were alone, single. I don't know how to word that where it doesn't sound insulting.
I think what it is just that like like it's just responsibilities, working, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're married, whether you have kids,
or dogs,
or dogs, or a job. Like it's just responsibilities. Just giving to those responsibilities, that's just what everybody does every day. And
Yeah.
sometimes you forget about, hey, maybe I should take time to go knit for a little bit, or I should take time to go, you know, build my little model cars, or whatever it is that you do, like your hobby, whatever your thing is. We always got to remember to still have time to do those things, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Take time to do it, even if it's once a week. Just do it. For me, that's my podcast. Like, I love being able to express myself and be creative in the podcast. Could I do more? Sure. Could I be more creative and like do more things and and try to do bigger and better things? Of course, but life gets in the way,
Yeah.
and I try to do the best that I can to, enjoy this medium and try to, get my word out there and express myself through this. So to
Yeah,
the
but it's
best of my
tough.
ability. It is, man. Life is tough. Life is tough. Um, all right, let's jump into our random facts for the day.
Okay.
You go first, Los.
Sign language has tongue twisters.
Sign. Oh, that's a shout
They
out
are
to my son
called
on that one. Appreciate
they
that.
are called finger fumblers. Many who have practiced sign language over the years still fumble over certain sequences in ASL.
So like it's legitimately called a what, like a tongue
They're
twister, you
called
said?
finger fumblers.
Finger fumblers. Never
Yeah.
heard of that.
Well, the reason why I did it is because of your son.
Yeah.
He speaks with ASL,
Hmm.
so it would be interesting for you to learn it or you to ask about it, and give you something else to talk about with your son.
I'm gonna have to look into that, finger fumblers. I'm gonna have to make a note of that real quick because that's interesting. Would have never thought that. Would have never thought that. Um, all right, my random fact feeds into the topic that we're talking about tonight, which is Star Trek. According to mentalfloss.com, I get my facts from these random sites. Star Trek's Vulcan salute is actually a Hebrew blessing. Did
Yes,
you knew that? Of
I knew
course you
that.
did. You're a Star Trek guy. Break it down to us then.
What happens is Leonard Nimoy, the actor who played Spock, was in temple, and they were doing the ceremony, and you're not supposed to look at what they're doing.
Hmm.
And as a kid, he peeked, and the Vulcan is like this, but I think the Jewish one is like this.
Okay.
So he just did the thumb thing.
So for our audio listeners, the Vulcan salute, you already know, instead of the thumb being out, the thumb is closer to your fingers. That's what he was doing, basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe that's what the difference is, and you can even you can see it represented in certain Jewish what do you call that, mosaics.
Okay. Interesting.
So
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting. Never knew that. I wanted to make sure that I got a random fact that was Star Trek related tonight. I felt like it was
oh,
appropriate.
you want another random fact about it?
Go for it. Go for it.
William Shatner, who plays Captain Kirk,
Okay.
can't do that.
He can't do the Vulcan salute?
He can't do the Vulcan salute. They have to glue his fingers together to do it.
Get out of here. Are you serious?
Yeah.
They really it's really not. I didn't think it was that hard to do it. I mean, you just open your hand, open your fingers. That's weird.
Some people can't do it because they don't do overly complex things with their hands, such as drawing or painting or playing the piano or playing any sort
Mhm.
of instrument. So they just don't have the dexterity. It's
Interesting.
yeah, it's not a fault of anyone. It's just your life does this and not that.
Los, what is one thing that is normal to most that you can't do?
Raise a single eyebrow. I
There we
can't do
go.
that.
There we go. For anybody who's
I
watching
can't do
live,
that.
got the eyebrow going up.
I can't do that.
Oh man. Gee whiz. Let's get a close up on that, chat. Let's get a close up. You want to see the eyebrow? There we go. Look at that bad boy. Looking sharp. um One thing that I can't do that most people can do is I can't cross my legs. Like how you sit down, like cross your legs Indian style. I can't do it.
Really?
Yeah, because for anybody who doesn't know, who's never seen me in person, I am bow-legged. In my left leg, I'm bow-legged. If I try, like I can do it barely. But if I cross it, I can't like put my legs down flat. They like almost like sit up when I cross my legs. and if I try to put my legs down flat when they're crossed, it actually hurts my knee.
Oh, that you just got to stretch, and over time you'll be able to do it. But that's not something you want to invest in. You're like, when is this going to be useful?
When is this? I mean, even since I was in like high school, when they used to always say, "Hey, sit down and cross your legs," I was the only person in the class I could never do it. I just couldn't do it because of how my bones are, like they're bow-legged. I just could never do it. It's pretty weird. Interesting fact. Interesting fact. I think we should always include a random fact about us when we do random facts. I think that's pretty cool.
Well, next time, ask me about ice skating.
I'll ask you about ice skating now.
I have a fear of ice skating.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
I think I saw a movie as a kid where someone got their hand run over by an ice skate and they got their fingers chopped off. And ever since then, I've been terrified of ice skating.
It's kind of funny you mentioned that because I went ice skating for the first time this past winter with my girl. She told me something. She told me a story about somebody almost getting their hand ran over by an ice skate. I think it was hers or something. She told me that story right before we went, and I was like, wow, that's the worst thing to tell somebody who's never been ice skating before about a finger getting cut off. So it's like before, like I didn't tell her, but before we went ice skating, I was terrified to go. Like I was just like, oh, what if I fall? Then my hands is on the ice, and then before I get up, somebody runs me over and make little Vienna sausages out of my fingers. You know, I was just freaking terrified.
And no more Vulcan salutes for you.
And no more Vulcan salutes. It'll just be some weird like sign language salute or something. But yeah, I went ice skating for the first time. I actually loved it. I kind of adjusted pretty quickly because I was pretty good at rollerblading. So
yeah, but you're also an athlete too, so that would make sense.
You know how I do. All right, so let's jump into a little segment that we started last podcast episode that I think we're going to make a thing on the show. What if? Which is where we talk about something in relation to pop culture, film, or gaming. We talk about a what if scenario that didn't happen in that actual franchise. We talk about what if that did happen and how would that change that franchise or that movie or game. So for today's episode, we're going to talk about what if Thanos snapped, never reversed. What if whatever he did happened in Endgame? He snapped, everybody was gone, they're dead. What if that was it?
I have very mixed feelings about that. From a superhero perspective, you lose a lot of great heroes.
Yes,
Black Panther, Winter Soldier, and a whole bunch of other ones that I can't think of. Spider-Man off the top of my head.
Wow, I forgot about that. Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah. But from a person standpoint, it was a good thing. The way they portrayed what the snap did to people in Falcon and Winter Soldier, it really made you think that the world became a better place after the snap. People were more united. Yeah. There was people cared less about borders and cared more about people and each other.
Yeah.
So I'm very divided on that. I kind of think that if I was in that situation, I might have joined Red Hand.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Jeez. I mean, I honestly, I agree. I do feel like Winter Soldier did give me that feel that after the snap happened, that everything just felt different. You know, it's like people were just... Actually, wait, no. Was that Endgame that happened, the snap, or was that an Infinity War? It was Infinity War, my bad.
Infinity War, yeah.
Yeah, not Endgame. I do feel like the world almost, like, for lack of a better term, just became a better place. You know, I think, yeah, if that wasn't reversed, we would not have gotten a lot of the great movies that we got after that. You know, and a lot of the big, in the same instance, we would have lost a lot of big character films, but we would also had a chance to see a lot of smaller characters shine.
Well, here's the thing, too, though. I kind of wonder if they would have kept the snap in place, would have gone with Miles Morales Spider-Man?
Ooh. That actually would have been a good idea. I actually would have liked that because a lot of us have been fiending for Miles Morales, to like show his face. I mean, Spider-Man has been doing this thing for a few years now. I thought we would have gotten it, or at least got some kind of hint about that. So I believe that, yeah, if that snap didn't reverse, Spider-Man was gone. I think Miles Morales would have had to have been the next Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They would have had to have done that.
Or would they have done uh, Carlos O'Hara from Spider-Man 2099 moving from the future into the past and him being the new Spider-Man?
I feel like there could have
Miguel
been a
O'Hara,
chance.
sorry.
There could have been a chance of that happening, but at the same time, I feel like they would have wanted to go with somebody a little more familiar, maybe in a sense. A lot more people know about Miles compared to the other guy. So I think they would have gone that route. In my
I
opinion.
kind of, in the general pop culture, I will agree with your statement.
Yeah.
But for comic book fans, I wouldn't. Because they've brought Miguel O'Hara from the future into present day several times. He's the only character from the 2099 universe that they want to keep alive. They got rid of the old Thor, Doctor Doom, and everything else from 2099, but they kept Spider-Man, the Miguel O'Hara one, who's Mexican and Irish.
Mexican and Irish. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting combination.
The only Spider-Man who's a white guy is Peter Parker. Everyone else has been mixed.
Wow.
Black and Puerto Rican for Miles Morales. Mexican and Irish for Miguel O'Hara. And even the other Spider-Man in the other universes have been mixed.
You even have a pig that's a Spider-Man too.
Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham. Who else did we lose? Black Panther. Did we have Black Panther 2 already? I mean, not Black Panther 2. Did we have Black Panther the movie already at that time? I think we did.
Yes,
right?
It had already come out.
Okay, so we would already be leading into what we're already leading into now, which is his sister taking over.
No, but his sister was snapped too.
Really? I don't remember his sister being snapped. I thought it was just Black Panther.
There is a screen. There's like a 3-second shot that shows the people who were snapped, and she was one of them.
Oh, I didn't know that. I forgot.
So
I didn't know that.
What I think is the guy who's the head of the gorilla tribe from Black Panther,
yeah.
I believe he would have been the new Black Panther. He would have been the new leader of Wakanda.
That actually makes sense. That makes sense. Who else did we lose? You said we lost Falcon. Falcon was gone. I don't think we would have got any.
No,
yeah,
he was gone.
Yeah, Falcon was gone.
Winter Soldier was gone, not Falcon.
Nah, Falcon was gone. Chat.
Oh,
anybody watching live, let me know.
There's one simple way to do this, okay?
Are you going to pull up the list of everybody who was snapped?
Yes.
Let's do that. Let's actually do that.
Superheroes were gone because of the snap.
All right, yeah. So here we go. We're going to look at this for reference. Every Avenger who was a victim of the snap.
Okay. Nick Fury, Groot, Maria Hill, Ned Mantis, Wanda Maximoff. I don't know who Wilfred Angel is. Jane Foster, Drax.
Wow, Drax.
Yeah.
See? And Falcon. Falcon's up here. Falcon was the one they showed. They showed him during that scene.
Flash Thompson, Hope Van Dyne, Janet Van Dyne, Sam Wilson was snapped. You're correct.
Yeah, he was in there. Flash Thompson.
Oh, man, I mean, there would have been. That means the only Cap would have been Steve.
Yeah, Steve would have been the only Cap. Steve would have probably never. Steve would have still been around. Actually, Steve would have still been around. Groot. Hank Pym from Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is the Wasp's father.
Hope Van Dyne, yes. Janet Van Dyne, the Wasp.
Mm-hmm. Laura Barton, which is Hawkeye's wife.
That's right. I was thinking, who the hell is she?
Hawkeye's daughter, and well, all his kids basically. Mantis would have been gone.
Yes.
Aunt May. She was gone.
Aunt May, yes.
That's a big one. That would have been big. Aunt May and Peter Parker being gone, that would have changed that entire universe.
Would have.
MJ was gone too.
MJ, that's right. MJ was gone.
Um, Ned, which is Spider-Man's best friend, gone.
Yes. And mind you, that character is a copy of a Miles Morales character.
Yes, I finally played that game, by the way. Finally played that game.
So good but short, right?
Good but short. Good but freaking short. Um, Let me see who else. Star-Lord, obviously. Wasp. I forgot she got. Oh, Winter Soldier was out too. Wow. Geez, Wong from Doctor Strange. So yeah, I
No.
mean,
Where does it say Wong was
I'm gonna maybe my list. I'm not sure if my list is incorrect.
No,
or
because
not.
Wong wasn't, because he was named Sorcerer Supreme because Doctor Strange
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
got snapped.
My list must be wrong then. I think the main thing would be that I think Cap would have still been around. Spider-Man would have been gone. We would have had Miles Morales. I think those would have been the two main changes that we would have had from this. Everybody else is like, I don't want to say that they're indisposable, but it's like they don't really affect. I mean, they affect the story in the MCU, but not to the point where it's like, oh wait, if they're gone, it's going to drastically change everything.
Well,
You know?
the thing that surprised me was when Black Widow was like, I have nothing to do because the world changed and there was no need for superheroes.
Yeah. True. Yeah, I mean, she was. I think we saw her movie. She was sitting down watching TV and eating like bonbons. Like, she wasn't really doing anything, you know.
Yeah.
So she didn't know what to do with her life at that point. She felt confused. So
I think
yeah,
at that point, all superheroes would be street level superheroes.
pretty much. Pretty much. Side note: are you excited or plan on seeing Thor: Love and Thunder?
Yes, when my girl comes back from Florida, I am definitely going to go see Thor.
Awesome. I'm gonna see it too. I'm gonna see it with my girl. I'm not excited for it though. I'm just at this point. I feel like Spider-Man, the last Spider-Man movie that we got hit such a high bar that anything that comes next is gonna be hard for it to measure up to that. And I don't know. I haven't been that excited about superhero movies lately. I haven't even watched Miss Marvel yet. Have not
That's
touched it.
actually on my to-do list for this weekend.
Watch Miss Marvel.
Yeah, because with a lot of these series, I like to wait till it's over so I could binge watch it.
Yeah.
Because unless I'm super into the franchise, and super into the character, like Loki, for instance.
Yeah.
Loki, I didn't wait. I watched that every week. But
Me
Miss
too.
Marvel was never a character that I liked all that much, even though she was from Jersey.
Yeah, see, that's the thing too. Is like I kind of want to watch it because it's like, hey, it's a film based around New Jersey. Why not? Like that's my home. But yeah, like you said, it's about that character. I don't care for that character like at all. She's not mildly interesting to me whatsoever.
My problem is,
Watch it.
and again, maybe it's because of my age, that I'm not interested in the little girl stories, because they don't frame her, at least in the issues that I've read, they don't frame her as a teenager with teenager problems. They frame her as a girl with girl problems.
Yeah.
And what if Spider-Man's strengths was, no matter what version of Spider-Man, they framed him as a teenager with teenager problems, not a boy with teenager problems.
You know what? It's kind of funny you say that because I do kind of get that vibe, like that little girl vibe, and I guess I subconsciously was probably thinking that too. Like, am I going to be interested in this? Am I going to be interested in the story?
My hope is, if it is like what the trailers are portraying, then they're portraying a teenager with teenager problems, not a girl with teenager problems.
I hope so.
And that's really what my hope is, because the narrative that Disney wants to push out is everyone's equal. Well, then let's continue pushing it out, but let's push it out by saying, these are universal problems that teenagers have, and only when the situation fits should we have it a girl with these teenager problems. You understand what I'm trying to say?
I feel you.
So that's my whole thing about it.
I feel like her character is going to be similar to the character that we got in Doctor Strange. Um, uh, what is it? Multiverse of Madness. What's the character that was the little girl with like that superpower where she kept
America?
transporting America? Yeah, I feel like her character is just going to be kind of like America from Doctor Strange.
No,
Honestly,
no, I don't think so. I think that Miss Marvel, they have her girly, whereas America was just a lost person who happened to be a teenager
yeah.
because of her jumping between universes. So that's
Hmm.
kind of how I feel what they
Okay.
did with America. But I still feel like they're setting up the Young Avengers.
I've been thinking that for a while, especially ever since we got word. Like the minute we got word of Miss Marvel, I was like, "Yep, this is it, Young Avengers," because Miss Marvel's obviously young, um, and
America.
America and Spider Man obviously looking like he's trying to like maybe take control of the Avengers or like look like he may be next in line. But yeah, ever since I saw, and then what was it?
Hawkeye.
Gosh, Hawkeye, exactly. Especially the Hawkeye TV show. When I found out that they were doing a Hawkeye TV show and Miss Marvel, I was like, "Yep, this is it. Young Avengers is gonna happen." Even though Marvel is not saying that they're doing that, they're doing it.
My question for you is, do you think the Hawkeye TV series is rewatchable?
No, not for at least not for me. No,
For
it
me, it
wasn't.
is. For me, it is.
Really, for you, it is.
It really is. Because they they made here's the first time where you see Hawkeye being Hawkeye and him being okay with nobody really knowing who he is. Because he said it himself, I'm the guy in the background.
Yeah.
While the girl, which I forget her character's name,
Mm,
she's someone who wants to be in the foreground. So it's a whole new look for Hawkeye. And I
yeah.
and I agree with you. I think they're setting it up where Spider-Man leads the Young Avengers.
Yeah, I think that's where it's gonna go. I mean, I would be totally surprised if they didn't go that way, but I feel like that's where they're gonna go. Like
But
it just looks that
and
way.
and the thing that really makes me think it is in Spider-Man Far From Home,
Mm.
Spidey was like, "We have to work as a team," and the other guy's like, "We don't know how to work as a team. We always fly solo." He goes, "I've worked in a team. Let me show you how to do it."
Yeah, and that's when I got that vibe too. That he's gonna the vibe of him being a leader, the vibe of him actually taking control of like a superhero squad, so to speak. That's when I was like, "Yep, he's getting ready for this. He's definitely getting ready to like lead a team." Young Avengers. It's a matter of when it's gonna happen. If it doesn't happen, I will be surprised.
And that's the other thing about your question. Um, what would happen if they didn't bring people back from Thanos' snap? I think
Mm.
the Young Avengers would have been a film that have been pushed out sooner.
Oh, 100%. 100. I mean, it would suck if Spider-Man wasn't in it, obviously. But yeah, I think
But
100%.
Miles Morales could have been in it. So there would have
My
been a Spider-Man in there.
true. True. And yeah, you're right. There's so many Spider-Men that it's like even if you didn't have Peter, you still got plenty to choose from. You still got plenty to choose from.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, that's our what if scenario for if Thanos snapped was never reversed. All right, let's jump into it. The big boy, the big
Okay.
kahuna, the one and only,
So
the reason we're here.
let me start with the question. Did you watch the full series?
So,
The full season?
let me answer your question. No. Dude, no. Do you want to know why? I'm gonna give you a reason why.
Okay.
This wasn't like oh KJ just didn't watch it because he's just too lazy. He didn't want to watch it. Blah blah blah. Honestly, I just I was kind of bored. I'm not gonna
And,
lie. I'm not
and
gonna lie.
that is exactly how I felt about Obi-Wan, but I watched the whole thing. I
Here,
was so incredibly bored during Obi-Wan. During the book
really,
of Boba Fett, I was incredibly bored,
Boba Fett is
but I
understandable.
still continued watching it for the
I
podcast.
I dude, I usually do. There's like I made myself watch Boba Fett, especially for the podcast because but I was like, all right, Mandalorian kind of held it together for me. If I swear, if Mandalorian did not pop up in Boba Fett, I would not have finished it. I was literally this close from stopping. I was done. I could not finish that show. But Mandalorian held it together. I was like, oh, maybe the next episode might have Mandalorian. Maybe the next one might have him. So that's what kept me going. How I knew that this one was like, all right, I can't watch it anymore. I literally, no offense to my Star Trek fans out there, I fell asleep a few times during a few
Okay,
episodes.
so you need to explain to me what you didn't like, and then I'll go on with more questions from there.
I think just the whole vibe of flying through the ship. I mean, like having the ship fly through space, and they're reacting in the cockpit and stuff like that. That's kind
The
of a
bridge,
disconnect for
the
me.
bridge, not a cockpit, a
Oh,
bridge.
sorry. I'm going to be like crucified after this episode by all the Trekkies out there. Um, Flying through space, going through whatever they're going through, and then on the bridge, them reacting to it. That was a major disconnect for me. Back in the day, I used to watch it as a kid, and I looked at it differently. Of course, the way I viewed things differently was different then. And then now watching it now, getting that feel of how it used to be back in the day, and it's still kind of being a similar formula. I just felt a little bit of a disconnect, to be honest.
And I don't understand where the disconnect is. So magical space wizards with laser swords you can
Matt,
connect to?
see, like honestly, yeah, I guess it is a little different. I don't know. In For me, there was only all right. So let me just talk about what I did like, because I feel like I'm bashing the show.
No. I
Um,
want to hear what you disliked first. So then that way I can hear what you liked and figure out where the disconnect is.
I wonder if maybe it was either the writing or the stories. It just wasn't interesting to me. It really wasn't interesting. Some of the characters were interesting. Um, like for example, Cadet Uhura.
Uhura.
She was Uhura.
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 Yeah,
Uh,
Uhura.
she was cool. Black woman from Kenya, actually had some intelligence, and they turned to her multiple times for help. I like that. I like the fact that a person of color, who is surrounded by other people who aren't, they looked at her and like, hey, you're smart, help us, lead us. I actually did like that aspect. Officer Spock, I liked
Lieutenant.
him. Lieutenant, really?
Lieutenant Spock, yes.
IMBD called him Officer Spock. That's weird.
He's an
um
officer in Starfleet, but his rank is lieutenant.
oh, okay, cool. So Lieutenant Spock, let me get it right. um I liked him. I liked the fact that, he, like, the guy who played Spock played that role great. Let me actually do him justice. Let me not.
Ethan
Ethan
Peck.
Ethan Peck did a great job as Spock.
He is Gregory Peck's grandson.
Really interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. Um, he did a great job as Spock. I loved him as Spock. Um, yeah, I think for me, I think what was the disconnect for me was just the stories just weren't really capturing me. Um, I felt like, I don't want to say the acting was bad. There were some characters, their acting was okay. It was good, and there's some characters I just didn't feel like they were that character. I just felt like that was the actor just acting. So for me, that was a little bit of a disconnect as well. I think overall, it's just that for me, the stories were just something that I just was not interested in. It just was like, all right, what's happening? Oh, that's happening. Okay, that's it. Like, is that what this episode is going to, revolve around? And maybe just because I'm just not deep into that lore, I'm not deep into like the mentality
See,
of how Star
what
Trek works.
surprises me is this: is I thought you would like it because you're someone who, like me, believes everyone should be equal. So I figured you'd enjoy that aspect of it.
Yeah.
B, the fact that these people are literally, their mission is to explore and help people. I figured you would like that because you also have that sense of exploration and need for knowledge, like someone from Starfleet would have. Um, and you're someone who can respect authority and ranks and things like that. So I figured in those aspects you would like it. And the fact that you can't be into a story where, about cultural differences and learning about new people actually surprises me.
I mean, those aspects, I agree. Like, I am into those aspects. But I just think it was. I don't know. It's something about it just did not connect with me. It's just I felt like I said, there was a few times during certain episodes where I literally like I nodded off. I was just like, all right,
Okay, you're
you
gonna
know.
have to tell me the episodes.
Episode one, didn't like it. I didn't like the first episode.
That I can understand because there's a lot missing that you don't know coming into it. So you're like, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why is this important? I understand why
Yeah.
that's important. I can understand episode one, but I also don't understand how come you didn't reach out to me and go, hey, I don't understand this. What's going on?
Well, I wanted to try to go into this like this. All right, blank slate. Let me just see if I can figure this out. I want to go into it with like I didn't want any kind of prejudgment from anything. I wanted to go into this to see how I look at this. How do I take this story without having anything persuade my thinking about the story? That's kind of what I was trying to go into it as. And hoping that I eventually would find an answer to whatever my question might be. I mean, I didn't have any like particular like over
Well,
the
you
top
should.
questions.
You should.
Probably should have.
The
Maybe it
first
would have
question you
changed.
should have asked is, why is Captain Pike so freaked out about his future?
See, but I didn't want to ask about that because I figured maybe that would come later. So I was
No,
like, all
no.
right, this is
That was
something to look
that
forward
was
to.
explained in Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, okay. See, I
I
like the
purposely told you there are things you're not going to understand. Reach out to me so I can explain it so you can understand why these characters behave this particular way.
But see, I thought that particular scenario with Pike was going to be like it was going to be a major plot point in the story that they're going to like eventually touch base on. Because throughout that episode, they kept showing Pike seeing like a person who was burned in like certain
No,
like
he
reflections.
was seeing himself.
Oh, he was seeing
That
himself.
that's his future.
Oh, I thought he was seeing like somebody that like he knew or
No.
somebody that he let down
Okay.
or something.
So let me fill you in on this. I'm going to make it as short as possible.
Okay.
In Star Trek Discovery, okay, they had this world ending event that they had to figure out. So one of the things they needed was a time crystal. So
Okay.
before he was able to collect the time crystal, they say, you touch it, and what you see is guaranteed will be your future if you take this time crystal. And he saw that in 10 years' time, he's going to get into an accident helping cadets, and he's going to be mortally wounded.
Wow.
He's going to be disfigured. He's going to be stuck in a wheelchair and be a paraplegic. And the only thing he can answer is yes or no through a light on his wheelchair. So this man who is incredibly active, who explores the universe and helps so many people, is now going to be essentially a vegetable who can only say yes or no.
Wow.
And it shows that no matter what, he is still willing to sacrifice everything to continue being that person.
Hmm. Interesting.
And this is why you didn't connect with Captain Pike. Because you're like, so what if you see some dude in a wheelchair? Who cares? I don't understand.
But I figured, like I said, I like because
No.
when
This is
most
why I told you specifically there is a lot of things that connect into the series. If you do not know, ask me. It'll make you understand the characters to be able to move forward.
but I like I said, I thought that was a particular part of the story that was going to eventually be revealed because I'm like, all right,
No,
this show was revolving around him seeing this reflection
no.
almost like
This
every
is
episode.
okay. Second episode, Children of the Comet. What did you think of that episode?
So another comment was actually a pretty good episode. And FYI, guys, mild spoilers. I'm not gonna like break every single thing down, but just
Season's
mild
over. The
spoilers.
season's over. If you haven't watched it, you're a fucking loser. You got spoiled.
So the So yeah, the second episode I liked it because we came into this episode thinking like, wow, this is a comet is going to destroy planets, et cetera, et cetera. And then when we found out by the end of the episode that no, this thing is a peaceful thing that brings life, and the alien guy said that like, oh, this thing brings life and et cetera, et cetera. We thought he was just a psycho. And then we find out that no, this thing really does bring life. This thing is something that's helping the universe. And I just thought that that was just like, to me, that was an interesting storyline. It's actually one of my favorite episodes. Interesting storyline, interesting
so
plot.
You missed the most important part of the story.
In that episode,
Yes,
which was what?
within the first 5 minutes, this comet is going to hit the planet. The planet is going to be destroyed. There are people who are pre-warp. In other words, in Star Trek, if you are pre-warp, you're considered your whole society is too immature to join the rest of the universe. So Starfleet is not allowed to interfere with those people.
Yeah.
So this comet was going to come and kill this planet and the people on it. And the only thing that Starfleet can do is observe. Because of General Order 1, they're not allowed to interfere.
Mm.
So now all of a sudden these aliens come and change the whole thing. They were going to interfere, but then the story got bigger. But they weren't supposed to interfere.
Because
See,
everything.
that's the part of the story that you didn't get. And because you didn't get that one thing in the first 5 minutes, you don't understand the importance of the rest of the story. To you, it was like, ooh, they're going to fight in space.
They're going to start shooting torpedoes at each other.
And that is a very Star Wars thing to do. Go, everything else doesn't matter. As long as people are flying in spaceships and shooting at each other, like it's World War II, I'm excited.
I definitely think that Star Trek, with watching this show in comparison to watching Star Wars shows, they do have a few things in common. They're both very political. I feel like Star Trek is even more political than Star Wars.
No.
You don't think so?
Star Wars is very religious.
Religious? You consider it religious?
It
Oh,
is
well, because
religious.
of the Force. Yeah. Yeah.
The Force and Jedi. May the Force be with you. Listen, if you've gone to if you're Catholic, as soon as they say "May the Force be with you," you instantly want to go, and also with you, because you do that in church.
Yeah.
Okay. No, Star Wars is very religious. It's about this one religious group who have deemed themselves the masters of right and wrong, of light and dark, and we're going to fight what we think is evil because we know the way. We know the light. We know the truth.
Yeah.
That's what Star Wars is really about. It's not really about the rebels, okay? Because they're religious zealots who believe in the Force, who want to destroy this evil. Star Wars is religious. Don't kid yourself. Star Trek isn't.
Yeah, Star Trek, I felt like is very, in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, like political, in a sense.
It's political. It's political in the sense of they're bringing these stories that matter to our everyday and exposing it. There was an episode in the original Star Trek where these two characters, one was painted half black and half white, literally right down the middle. One was black on the left, one was black on the right. Okay, and these two people hated each other, and they called themselves "you half black, you half white," because they were black on one side or black on the other. So that was a story about racism. Okay, yes, they do talk about politics if you view it in that lens, but the reality is Star Trek is about equality. Let's look at everybody equally. Let us all get along. Let us all try to communicate. Let's all try to move forward. You have your differences and I can respect that. I have my differences. I hope you can respect that. That is truly what Star Trek is about.
Interesting. Okay.
And in some ways, it's also like parenting. Okay. I will teach you this when you're ready. I won't interfere with you until you're ready.
Yeah.
Like kids. Okay. You tell a kid they're Santa Claus and they believe in Santa Claus until they're ready to hear there is no Santa Claus. It is a lot
True.
like parenting also.
True indeed.
It's very different. Very, very different. All right, let's move on to the third episode. How many episodes did you get into it? I'm thinking you got maybe to 5.
4.5.
4.5.
4.5. Favorite episode is 3, Ghost of Illyria.
Uh-huh.
Ghost of Illyria. I thought it was interesting. I was kind of confused by the episode a little bit. So it was basically a ghost of light that was infecting everyone. Is that what that was about?
It is sort of. God, it's been such a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, because I was confused. I was like, what is infecting him? Is it a light? Is it a ghost? Like, what's happening here? I was a little confused.
What happens, there's a disease, okay, that makes these people obsessed with light because the disease wants, it's like being infected by a plant, and the plant needs sun to survive. This disease needs light to survive. So it infects everyone. And these people are essentially killing themselves just to get near a light source.
Yeah. Wow.
But the story isn't about that. The story is about Una. In Star Trek, if you are genetically modified, you are automatically disqualified from being a member of Starfleet. The reason why is, in the Starfleet timeline, there was a World War III where genetically modified humans try to take over the Earth. And the fear of genetically modified people has extended so far into the future that you cannot be genetically modified and serve in Starfleet. So the story was, does Una expose who she is as a genetically modified Illurian, an alien, who to them genetic modification is normal? Does she expose herself and face jail time and prison time to save her crew? Or does she stay quiet and let everybody die? That's what the real story of the Ghost of Illyria was about. Captain Pike said something that, if you're into science, you'll know. He said, well, if we do this because of redshift, they may not see us properly. Do you know what redshift is?
No, what is that?
That light, the farther you're away from a light source, the waves will extend more. And when the waves extend more, it goes more into the red light spectrum. So he was talking about redshift, this something very scientific that is a real phenomenon in science. And so he explained something that someone who has enough of a scientific mind can go, oh, okay, okay, I can see how that happens.
Yeah.
Because Star Trek has inspired more scientists than any other TV show. Star Trek has inspired more astronauts than any other TV show.
That was actually one of the things.
Hasn't done that.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I saw in one of my random facts website, that they were saying that Star Trek has inspired a lot of scientists for sure because of like their technology and things like that. There's a lot of things that we have in technology today that came from Star Trek, that came from ideas from Star Trek.
Floppy disks, iPads, cell phones, desktop computers.
iPads.
Things we use every day.
Wow. Didn't even think about that. Didn't even think
All
about
from
that.
Star Trek. The only thing people want from Star Wars is a lightsaber.
That's it. And maybe try out some of their food because it looks interesting.
And maybe the Force.
Yes.
Let's face it. The religious aspect of Star Wars is so big that there is an actual religion of Jedi. It's an actual religion.
Get out of here. Oh,
yeah, look it up. There are people in this country, under religion, they put Jedi, who follow a church of the Jedi.
What?
Yeah. That is how religious Star Wars is.
Wow. I did not realize that was an actual thing that people were like really doing. Jeez.
It's an actual thing.
So, in closing.
No. I got to give my opinion of it. Okay?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What is your verdict? What do you think of Strange New Worlds?
It is a good show. And it is a good show for these reasons. One, it doesn't leave the Star Trek fan out in the blue. Two, it's written well. Because it tells the type of stories that Star Trek fans have been longing for, that the Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard has not given Star Trek fans over the past 5 to 7 years. It explores canon in ways that throw away stuff that nobody even thought about they're exploring. It explores histories of characters that we're all interested in. And not only that, it shows, that the values of Starfleet, which is knowledge, exploration, and equality, are still valid today. To this day, those three things are what separate a Star Trek fan from the fandom of any other science fiction, because we believe in that. There was a case once where a jury member was such a Star Trek fan that she wore her Starfleet uniform to jury duty. And they were going to give her contempt of court. And when she explained that this uniform for her represents truth, it represents duty, it represents knowledge, and it represents understanding people's cultural diversity and what it means. And she goes, and if I have to sit here and judge somebody, I need to be constantly reminded of the things that I'm doing. Upholding the law, understanding the letter of the law, understand it's a duty. And you know what the judge said? Wear your uniform.
Wow. They wore it to jury duty. Wow, that's crazy.
Look it up. She wore it to jury duty. And she
Interesting.
Now,
it's actually impressive.
If someone came in there in Jedi robes, what are you doing? I believe in the Force, and I believe in the light side. And if that person is a dark warrior, we shall chop their head off. Come on, bro. You can't do that.
Whip out their saber in court.
Values. It's not the same values. It is not.
Oh, man. And on that note, guys, we're going to get ready to head out of here. Anybody who was watching us live, hit the like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's where we're live at right now. If you're listening to us on the audio version of the podcast, leave a comment. Give us a review on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, wherever you're listening to us. It pushes us up in the algorithm. It helps us out. It helps get the show out there to more people. So leave a review. Give us a 5-star out there. And if you guys want to continue to check us out, watch us live on youtube.com/the JHouze. We're live every other week, twice a month, sometimes 3 times a month. So other than that, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys for watching live. Thank you guys for listening in. Peace and chicken grease. And we will catch you guys.
And live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper. I'm going to do it without the thumb. There we go. Just to be
there you go. Live long and prosper.
Jeez Louise. All right, guys. We're going to get out of here.